Once upon a time, in the lush and vibrant village of Samoa, there lived a wealthy and powerful king named Kumurci. His reputation as a ruler was well known, but his personal life was the source of much whispered gossip among his subjects. Kumurci had three wives, each with her unique beauty and grace. However, he was far from a fair husband. While he showered his youngest wife with affection and luxuries, treating her like a princess, his two older wives were neglected and treated more like servants than queens. They bore the brunt of his cruelty and favoritism, silently enduring the humiliation. Kumurci's favoritism created a rift in his household, but the youngest wife seemed oblivious, basking in the attention she received. The older wives, though bitter and resentful, remained in the shadows, silently watching and plotting. It was a household of fractured loyalty and suppressed emotions. One fateful day, Kumurci's world came crashing down. He discovered that his youngest son and most beloved wife was having an affair with none other than his first son, the heir to his throne. The revelation was like a dagger to his heart. The betrayal was too much to bear. Oh my God. The thought of his son, his own blood, engaging in such treachery with the woman he adored drove him into a frenzy. Rage consumed him. But deep down, a seed of doubt and shame began to grow. Could this be karma for his unfair treatment to his wives and family? Instead of confronting his wife, Kumurci's mind turned dark. Perhaps it was fear of losing her or his pride that stopped him, but he directed all his anger towards his son. He resolved to punish him mercilessly, to make him pay for his unforgivable acts. Yet, rather than addressing the matter openly, Kumurci sought out the guidance of a feared and respected herbalist in the neighboring village. The herbalist's shrine was a mysterious place nestled deep within the forest and adorned with charms, skulls, and symbols of power. When Kumurci arrived, his face twisted in anger and anguish, he poured out his heart to the herbalist, recounting the betrayal and his desire for retribution. The herbalist listened intently, nodding occasionally before offering a solution. He handed Kumurci a small vial of a potent substance and instructed him to mix it into his son's drink during lunch. "Return in 7 days," the herbalist instructed. "By then, all your troubles will be resolved." Kumurci did not hesitate. He thanked the herbalist profusely, his heart pounding with anticipation and a sinister satisfaction. This was his chance to rid himself of the humiliation his son had brought upon him. The next day, Kumurci sat at the grand dining table earlier than usual. It was an odd sight for this household because he comes in late all the time. So, as the king was always the last to arrive, everyone was shocked why he came in so early. His servants watched curiously but dared not question him. With trembling hands, Kumurci poured drinks for everyone, carefully adding the substance to the cup placed in front of his son's usual seat. But he hid while he was doing that. He arranged everything meticulously to avoid suspicion. But fate had other plans. As the family gathered for lunch, his youngest wife, the very woman he adored and intended to protect, playfully sat in her stepson's seat, giggling and teasing. The stepson, thinking nothing of it, took her usual spot without complaint. As the meal began, Kumurci's youngest wife unknowingly picked up the poisoned cup and drank. It was not long before chaos erupted. She began coughing violently, foaming pouring from her mouth as she collapsed onto the floor. Panic gripped the room as the family rushed to her aid. Kumurci's heart sank and dread washed over him. This was not how it was supposed to happen. The lifeless body of the youngest wife was carried to the herbalist's shrine in desperation. So, the herbalist examined her and solemnly declared, "She has been poisoned." Shock rippled through the gathering. Whispers of who could commit such an act filled the air. Kumurci, turned between guilty and fear, arrived to find his beloved wife dead and the household in chaos. Overcome with grief and anger, he lashed out at the herbalist, accusing him of betrayal. "How dare you!" The herbalist stood his ground, his voice calm but laced with reproach. "You have brought this upon yourself, King Kumurci. Did I not warn you to handle this carefully? The 7 days have not even passed, and yet your carelessness has caused this tragedy." The elders of the village, drawn by the commotion, demanded answers. Under their stern questioning, Kumurci's resolve crumbled. He confessed everything: his plan to poison his own son, his misguided rage, and the unintended death of his wife. The villagers were horrified. The once respected king had revealed himself to be a man consumed by jealousy, cruelty, and selfishness. The punishment was swift and severe. Kumurci was dragged to the village square, humiliated before his people. Children threw stones at him and his subjects cursed his name. The elders decreed that he be hanged for his crimes: the murder of his wife, the attempted murder of his son, and the betrayal of his duty as king. As Kumurci's lifeless body hung from the ancient tree in the village square, the people whispered the tale of his downfall. It was a story of how greed, favoritism, and unchecked anger could destroy even the mightiest of men. His older wives, freed from his tyranny, found solace in their new independence. The village moved on, carrying with it the lessons of Kumurci's tragic tale. And so, the story of King Kumurci served as a warning for generations to come. Those who sow seeds of injustice and cruelty will inevitably reap the harvest of pain and regrets.